Hey viewers, my name's Cara. This is my gaming setup recording through the computer because today is the 4th day of Vlogstice. Welcome back. Day 4 is VLOG, and G is for games. At least it is this year. That's the first thing that came to my mind when I thought about words that start with G for the holiday season. So this is the setup that I use when I record games. I have a second YouTube channel. It's at Cara Witch, where I play games. So I'm going to talk more about that later in the video. But first, I just want to talk a little bit about games. And actually, before I do that, I want to say it is very late or very early in the morning. I had a very full day and I got back several hours later than I thought I was going to, but I had important things to do, places to go, people to see, boxes to pack, things to move. But yeah, I ended up getting back several hours later than I originally thought, so I have less time to do this video and still get it posted around the same time, so I am changing it up a little bit. But I want to talk a little bit about games, and then maybe we'll play a game, and I'm going to talk about my other stuff that I do on the other channel. But when I was driving back tonight, I was thinking about games specifically related to this holiday season, games that I associate with spending time with my relatives, for example. Growing up, I was not a big game person. There were very few games that I would participate in. I think part of it was being kind of introverted and not wanting to compete against people. I really didn't enjoy doing that. I still don't like games that are like that. I prefer single-player games, but I was thinking about games that I did like playing as a kid or things that I did at all, and I thought about playing marbles with my grandma, with Grams. And when I say marbles, I don't actually mean marbles the game, like what most people call marbles, but it was essentially like a homemade Sorry board, like the game Sorry, where you can like bump people out of the way and send them back or like whatever. I don't remember all the rules now, but my grandfather had made a board. There was like a big square board, drilled a bunch of holes in it in the pattern of the game board, sanded it so that there were kind of like little divots around the holes so that marbles could sit in them. And so we played a game that is basically like the board game Sorry with marbles, and we called it Marbles. So when I thought about playing games as a kid and hanging out at my grandparents' house, I thought of that game. I never played it with my grandfather because he passed away earlier. I was quite young. I don't think I would have been playing marbles then, but I always knew because I was told that he's the one who made the board. And I played it with my grandma a lot. So I remember that one. And then I remember a New Year's Eve with some of my relatives where we played left, right, center, or some people call it left, center, right, which involves having to pass things either to the left, put them into the center, or pass to the right. Haven't played it in a long time, do not remember much about it at all. But those are the games that I can remember playing, like around holiday gatherings. There were a lot of fun games that I played with my friends at various seasonal gatherings after college. Things like Apples to Apples, the Game of Things, which is the one where there's strips of paper and you pull a card and it's like things that fill in the blank, and then you have to write something, and then whoever's turn it is has to choose which answer is the funniest or the best or whatever rules you're playing by. That was always very fun. And then my mom and I would always play PC games that were primarily like point-and-click adventure games, which I still very much enjoy to this day, and I'll talk more about in a bit. But also like seek-and-find games and puzzle games. We would always go to the store, and there would be like a $5 PC game CD-ROM bin. We got a lot of $5 games. My cats are playing a game right now. They're playing tag or chase or whatever you want to call it. So if you hear them galloping around in the background, that's what's going on. It's the middle of the night and they have the zoomies. So yeah, I don't remember playing like a lot of card games. I guess I played Hearts as a kid, maybe. Go Fish a lot. Oh, Uno, because at some point somebody bought my Gram's Uno Attack, which is the one where you have to press the button on the thing in the center after your turn or on your turn, and sometimes it'll just give you one card, and sometimes it will spit 20 cards at you. Yeah, so we played that quite a bit at Graham's house. But in our household, with my mom, it was mostly PC games, and then my brother... Excuse you. Don't mind her. My brother had a PlayStation, so we had some PlayStation games. I remember he and I loved to play a game called Disney Magic Racing, which is kind of like Mario Kart, but it was Disney characters, and Spyro the Dragon, one of our favorites. I don't know which Spyro. I know there are multiple Spyro games. Probably like Spyro 1 and 2, I want to say. And then I also had an American Idol singing game. Yeah. Fast forward to today. Now I play mobile games on my phone, mostly just little like Merge 3 type games. Did you know YouTube has games now? The mobile app has games. So I play one of those like merging farming games. It's like a tropical theme. There's a lot of cute games on there. There's some that I've just played a little bit of just to pass the time and then I don't play again. And then there's some that I've played for a while. And then I am still a PC gamer. I don't have any other kind of consoles. My brother has an Oculus and he brings it over for us to play. So my mom ended up getting one because she got hooked on a couple of the games. So when I was living with her for the past 2 years, I got to play her Oculus. I really like Beat Saber. I'm a big fan of that, especially when I feel like I have a lot of nervous, like jittery energy and I need to move. I like to play Beat Saber. So now I don't have access to that anymore, but that's okay. And my mom really likes this 3D puzzle game that was on there. And we also, together, played Myst VR, and we started playing Riven VR, which just came out more recently. Like, we had just finished Myst VR and then found out that Riven was coming out in VR a month later. It was like perfect timing. But Myst is a series that I started playing on PC as a kid, and I loved it, and I don't think I ever fully completed that game. And then we had Riven. I still have Riven as a CD-ROM set. And then I played Myst 3 Exile on the PlayStation, on PS2. And I did beat that one. So now I have fully completed Myst in VR recently, like over the past 2 years. And we were, like I said, partway through Riven. But another game that I played when I was younger, that I have played many, many times since, and I played just recently again, and by recently I mean like in the last year, is Barrow Hill, Curse of the Ancient Circle. And I did a full playthrough of that however long ago I recorded it. I put it up on my second channel. So there's a playlist. You can watch me do a full playthrough of one of my favorite games. It's like pagan themed. It takes place at the autumn equinox in Cornwall. And there's something going on at the site of this ancient barrow mound and stone circle. And you have to solve puzzles. It's a point-and-click adventure puzzle game. You have to figure things out, find stuff, solve puzzles. It does involve reading journals in-game, reading documents and stuff in-game, but you have to figure out what's going on and restore the balance. So I've played that game all the way through multiple times. I love it so much that like every time I made new friends or started dating a new person, I would always at some point say, we have to sit down and play this PC game that I love. I make everyone play it. So go play it. Or watch me play it, or both. You can play it and watch my playthrough, and it'll help you maybe solve things and give you some hints. Or you can listen to me read you the stuff in the journals and things like that. I do have timestamps listed for all the videos, so you could find one and specifically look at like when I'm reading this character's journal or whatever. But I'm not somebody who really like closely follows things like games that I like or even musicians that I like, singers, songwriters, artists. I don't always think to like follow them or catch up with what they're doing, especially before social media was part of my life. So I played that game years ago, like probably pretty close to when it first came out. And I didn't know until maybe just a few years ago that they made a sequel. I'm going to take a screenshot of it here to show you. Here in my Steam library, you see Barrow Hill, Curse of the Ancient Circle, which is the first one. And there's a sequel called The Dark Path, and I haven't played it yet. I'm going to play it on my second channel. Ideally, I want to stream it, but I'm having some trouble figuring that out. My internet has not always been the best for doing that. But I recorded my playthrough of the first one and just posted it as videos, so if absolutely nothing else, that's what I'm going to do with stuff on my second channel for now. But I'm really looking forward to playing The Dark Path because I loved the first one. It's a very different vibe from the trailers and also like the graphics and stuff. They've done some different things with it. It has Blair Witch vibes, but yeah, really looking forward to playing that. Some other games that I've played in the last decade, some of you might know, about 5 or 6 years ago, I used to stream with the person I used to live with on their channel, and I would sometimes stream playing a game called Graveyard Keeper, which I want to restart my playthrough of that now that I have my own channel and my own account. It's a farming sim, there's resource management, there's crafting. A lot of people told me who were watching it at the time that it seemed a lot like Stardew Valley, but morbid. And there's no like romancing, there's no relationship of that kind. At the time, I had not seen any of Stardew Valley. I have now seen quite a bit of Stardew Valley. So now I know why people say it looks similar. It has some similar vibes. There are some game mechanics in common. But there's also a lot of ways that I don't feel like it's similar. But I think you could think of it that way and it would give you a good idea of what it is. Only you're a graveyard keeper in this sort of like medieval village kind of. You have to take care of the graveyard and the church and solve a bunch of quests for a bunch of different characters in order to try to figure out how to get back to where you're from. I'll just say that. And yeah, it's been years since I played it, and it was on somebody else's Steam account, so now that I have my own, I want to restart my playthrough, and I haven't done it yet. I also have a bunch of other point-and-click adventure games saved that I got in a bundle a couple years ago that I haven't played yet, so I have lots of fun stuff like that to play. There's some free-to-play games that I want to play, but mostly what I've been doing that's on my second channel right now is The Sims 4. I love The Sims 4. I recently played their Halloween limited time event called Reaper's Rewards. I'm doing a whole series of videos of it over there. I only have the first 3 episodes of that series posted right now, but it's all recorded. The event ended in November. Now they're actually doing a winter holiday event that is currently live in the game. So if you have the Sims 4 base game, and the base game is free now, just saying, there's a limited time event where if you play through these quests, you can get some like special items from the event. And I want to play that too, and I'm going to be putting the videos on that channel. So if you are interested in game-related content that I will be doing, second channel at Cara Witch. It's linked in the end screen. It's also in the description. My intention is primarily to play witchcraft-themed games because that is mostly what I'm interested in, but also like things that could be considered vaguely pagan-themed, supernatural-themed things. Like I would say Graveyard Keeper falls under like creepy, weird, supernatural vibe. I don't know, but I like it. And there's some other games that I want to play that don't immediately seem like any of those things would apply, but there's pretty much always magic involved in them, and like nature spirits and stuff like that. So like to me it's connected, but as with my main channel here, the connecting theme is always just going to be that there are things I'm interested in and things that I like to play and want to try. But for example, the Reaper's Rewards event in The Sims 4 was a base game event, but I happen to also have the Realm of Magic expansion pack, so I made the Sims that I was using for that event challenge spellcasters. And I'm doing a lot of Realm of Magic gameplay in that series, and I also got the new Life and Death expansion pack that just came out on Halloween. I usually do not buy Sims 4 packs the day they come out because it's too expensive. I wait till they go on sale. But for this one, I really wanted to start playing it on Halloween. My plans for that got a little bit messed up, but I did play it on Halloween. I just didn't post the recordings until later. But the Life and Death expansion adds a Grim Reaper career, a Mortician career. You can now design funerals. We got more items to make proper graveyards. Sims actually have like different types of grief or different ways that they experience grief based on their relationship with the deceased sim. Ghosts got a bunch of new stuff added to them. There are already ghosts in the base game, but there's a whole skill tree now for ghosts, so they've really made them like a proper occult type in The Sims. The Sims uses the word occult to refer to any of the like non-human Sims. So in that game, it refers to like vampires, werewolves, spellcasters, mermaids, aliens. Some people consider the servo robots to be an occult type because they are a playable sim that's not a human sim. And so then ghosts and plant sims. That might be all of them that are currently in The Sims 4. Previous versions of the game had different types of things. But anyway, a lot of stuff was added with the Life and Death pack that is all right in my areas of interest. It also added tarot cards. Yeah, I did a whole video on that channel just looking through the tarot gameplay information, looking for the first time at more details about what it would involve and reacting to that. I'm so excited about it as a tarot reader myself. So happy to have it in the game. And then looking through the tarot art print item, somebody illustrated an entire set of Major Arcana cards themed around The Sims, plus 4 cards representing the 4 suits. So like 1 card per suit. They didn't do like an entire 78 card art deck, but there's a full Major Arcana, 1 art card for each suit, and then there's 2 different card backs because there are 2 different playable decks in the game. There's more that I could say, but I did a whole video about it. So go watch that video if you want to hear more about what the Life and Death expansion pack added with tarot cards. So yeah, there's mostly Sims stuff on my second channel right now, not entirely. Barrow Hill Let's Play is on there. There will be more other things in the future, but right now I'm mostly working on Sims stuff, and I'm pretty much always gonna have that supernatural, occult, magic, witchy twist in it because it's me. So that said, let's go ahead and play a game. We're gonna play some Clue. This could take a while. I'm probably not gonna edit it so that you can see the full gameplay, so if you want to just skip to the end of the video and hear my final comments, skip to whatever time is written here, or it'll be in the timestamp table of contents. But if you want to watch me play through a round of Clue, here we go. We're gonna play single player, so we're playing offline. I only have all the basic stuff. I do not have any paid DLC for Clue. This is Clue, also known as Cluedo in other countries. My first choice is usually Dr. Orchid, but I'm going through and getting the achievements where you have to win 10 games as each character, and I've already won 10 games as Orchid, and then I did 10 games as Mrs. Peacock. So I'm currently working on winning 10 games as Miss Scarlet. We're gonna play with a full house, and all the AI are on medium difficulty. I'm not gonna do the extra stuff over here. You can't see it behind my face cam. We're gonna have to move the face cam because you kind of need to see that side of the screen. But I'll just move slightly out of the way for now. Over here on the side, you can toggle on having this like special stuff. I don't use that, so we're not doing that. So cool. I want to build this in The Sims. So just like in the physical card game Clue, we're going to find out who's going first. Green, okay, classic. I'm going to be last. So now that he's made his guess, I'm going to pause for a second, because we're not playing online, so we can take as long as we want. I'm going to move my face cam up in the other corner. Shall we flip it? There. So just like in the physical card game, if anybody's not familiar with this game, it's usually a board game. There's 3 stacks of cards. There's cards that represent the people, the weapons, and the rooms. They get shuffled up, and one of each gets put in the envelope. That is the mystery that we have to solve. So the idea is everybody else is dealt out all the rest of the cards. What we're trying to do is deduce which cards nobody has in their hand, because that has to be the one in the envelope. So Green is accusing himself with the rope in the library. Turns progress down the line. So Peacock did not have any of those cards. Plum did have one. We don't get to know which one it was, but we can make a note that he has one of these 3 cards. We have Peacock, Plum, and the candlestick, so those are already marked off on our little cheat sheet. Over there on the right, it automatically marks things off for us. Peacock did not have any of them, so it automatically marked it off. Plum has something. So I'm going to just mark it with some 1s. I don't know how other people use the numbers, but I use them to keep track of which guess was which. You'll see if it comes up later. But we don't have to show anything because Plum already had something, so we can continue. Peacock's going to the dining room and suggesting Professor Plum with the wrench in the dining room, and Plum has one of those cards. We know that he doesn't have his own card because we have it, but he might have the wrench and he might have the dining room. And I'm using the number 2 because that was a whole separate set of suggestions. I love the sound effects in the games. In each room. Alright, Plum has made their suggestion. Mustard and Orchid did not have any of those cards, so it marked them off for us that we know they don't have those. And we have Peacock, so if you have one of the cards, you have to show it. If you have multiple, you're still only going to show one. Again, those of you who know how to play Clue or Cluedo, you already know this, but just in case somebody's watching who doesn't know how to play the game. And now we can continue. So Mustard has also suggested Peacock. We have that one, so we have to do that. You roll the dice to see how many spaces you can move. You can get into the rooms that way. Orchid rolled a 2, so she's not getting very far. She doesn't get to make a suggestion. You have to be in a room to make a suggestion, and it has to be about that room that you are in. So you have to maneuver your way to a room that you want to make a suggestion on. Let's roll for our first turn. So we've got 7. I like that it highlights where you can go, so I don't have to count the squares to find out where I can go. 7 is not enough to get all the way into the conservatory because of the way the layout is, but we can go anywhere else. So I don't have any room cards in this case. There's a chance that you could get all 3 weapons cards, you could get one of each, you could get 2 suspects and 1 weapon like we did. So we don't have any rooms, we don't have any knowledge. So let's go to the hall just because we already know a couple people don't have that card. Now we get to make a suggestion. So I know that it's not Peacock or Plum because I have those cards, but I could suggest them to narrow down the other things that I want to know. So for example, let's say Peacock, because everybody's been suggesting her, in the hall, and then I could suggest Candlestick if I really wanted to narrow it down to who has the hall. Let's go ahead and do that. We're going to suggest this. Green didn't have any of those. Peacock has one. The hall. Okay, so now we know it's not that. Now we also know one of Peacock's cards. So up here at the top, it has filled in a little blue dot under the blue for Peacock, because once you figure out like all of somebody's cards, you also know that that means they don't have all the other ones. So there's a lot of just deduction over time. We're not ready to make a final accusation, so we're just ending our turn. Green is going to the billiard room. Suggesting himself with the rope again, and Peacock has something this time. Peacock did not have anything that Green suggested before. So the thing that's different, because the first thing he suggested before was himself with the rope in the library. That's where I put the number 1s. So we already know Peacock does not have Green or the rope, so she must have the billiard room. Thank you. Okay, so Plum did not have anything. Mustard has something. Mustard does not have Plum because we have that. We know from previously that Mustard does not have the wrench, therefore he must have just shown the study. Thank you. Now we're narrowing some things down. I like the digital version of this game because I like that it marks things off automatically for you. Plum, wrench, and the study. We know that he has the study, so it probably just showed the same thing. In this case, he did show the same thing because we already know he doesn't have the other cards. Oh, there's something else that we know here. I just noticed on our little thing where I had written twos, because those were the only two options that somebody could have shown for something else. We now know, because somebody else asked about it and it automatically marked it off, that Plum does not have the wrench. So the other thing that was suggested at the same time, the other thing with the two, is the dining room. So in that earlier round, he must have shown the dining room. I'm going to leave the numbers there for now, just so I remember why I did that. And just like the original game, the corner rooms have a secret passage from one to the other, so Mustard could have gone directly to the other corner room. Didn't, but could have. And you can't stay in the same room unless somebody suggested you in a room which moves your piece there. Then you can make a suggestion in the same room after that. But otherwise, you have to move to a new room each time. Unless you are accused and moved into that spot. Alright, so Mustard is suggesting this, and Orchid has something here. So let's go Orchid, green, lead pipe, ballroom. Okay, could be any of these. We don't have any information about these yet, so I'm putting a 1 on each of those, because it's the first one in her column, so I don't have to worry about mixing it up with anything else. And that's all we know for now. Orchid's turn. 4. Are they going to make it to a room and make a suggestion? No. Oh my gosh. That would be awful. Rolling so low twice. Now, she could get to a room if somebody accuses her and moves her piece into a room. Then she could stay there for the next time. Alright, so we could go any of these places from where we are. See, it won't let us stay in the hall, because that's where our previous turn was, and we have not been accused and moved anywhere else. We know about a couple of these already. I also like that it highlights it over here in the corner. So we could go library, we could go lounge. The lounge would then allow us to go to the conservatory after if we wanted to, as long as nobody takes us anywhere else, because the lounge has a secret passage to the conservatory, and the study has a secret passage to the kitchen. But we already know about the study. Let's go to the lounge. So now, what do we want to know? I kind of want to know who has my card, or if it's me. So let's suggest ourselves with, let's go wrench, because we know some of that. I don't know if this is the best strategy. I just like playing. See, and then green has something, so right away we know that. That's good. And it marks it off automatically because that was shown to us, so it is confirmed. You can also see when they're confirmed by the actual game, they're smaller. And when they're things that I've manually marked off, the symbols are bigger. Plum had one of these things. Green, wrench, or kitchen. Well, green and the wrench were suggested before. We know they don't have the wrench. So it's either green or the kitchen. It might be green because that's come up in multiple, but let's just put 3s there. I don't know. Wow, there's a lot of people hanging out in the study right now. Oh, see, Peacock's using the secret passage to the kitchen. There's also a movie based on Clue. Have y'all seen the movie? Plum has one of these. Doesn't have Plum, doesn't have the wrench. So Plum has the kitchen. No Plum, no wrench, must be kitchen. Okay. Plum in the ballroom is suggesting green and the lead pipe. Orchid has something here. Green, lead pipe. Ballroom is exactly what was suggested before that she had something from, because we marked them off. So we don't know anything new here. We already knew that she has one of those cards. Okay. Orchid doesn't have any of those. Plum, revolver, kitchen. Some of that we already knew. We have to show this one because we have it. Orchid's turn. Billiard room. Okay, again, we have to show this one because we have it. Some people like to mark off like what other people have suggested because maybe that can tell you something, but I don't really know how to play at that level. I'm also playing against the computer. Just having a fun time. Okay, so we can go... Well, we already know about the dining room. We already know about the hall. Yeah, we kind of came here so that we could use the secret passage to the conservatory. So let's do that. Away we go. Yeah, kind of want to build this in The Sims. I'm sure somebody has, but I just think it would be fun because there's all the illustrations of each room, plus you get the overhead floor plan. Very fun. So maybe we'll do that sometime. Who do I want to suggest? I could figure out green. Let's ask about us again. And let's go candlestick. Okay, now we know green does not have us or the conservatory. But Peacock has the conservatory. So now, look at this. We know all 3 of Peacock's cards. All 3 of them are marked off. They are confirmed. Well, they're not all confirmed by the game, but that was by process of elimination. Which means Peacock does not have any more cards. So I can go through here and mark off X's in the entire Peacock column. So Peacock had 3 room cards. No weapons and no suspect cards. End my turn. Green's going to the kitchen. Green keeps asking about green and the rope. So either he has those cards and he's using it to narrow down the rooms, or he really wants to know about those things. I don't know. All right, so Plum has green, rope, kitchen. All right, we already know that. No new information in this round. Or in that turn. I guess the whole thing is a round, isn't it? Peacock is going to the ballroom. Suggesting green with the rope. Oh, what does Mustard have differently here? Well, we know that Mustard does not have green or the ballroom, so must have the rope. And from the other three, when Plum had, I'm looking at the number ones, Plum had either green, the rope, or the library, and we've now determined that they do not have green or the rope, so on that turn, Plum must have shown the library. Alright. Is there anything else? Mustard. Yeah, green, rope, ballroom. Okay. I'm very tired. It's the middle of the night, and there's some thinking required with this game, so I'm just taking my time and looking at the screen over again, looking at my list, checking it twice. Plum. Nothing, nothing, and then we have Plum. So at this point, we've narrowed it down to 2 possible rooms, 3 possible weapons, and we have no idea about the suspect yet. Oh, somebody has finally suggested me in another place. An orchid has either me, the lead pipe, or the billiard room, and we know they don't have the lead pipe. We have inferred that they don't have the billiard room, which means they must have me, which means we didn't do it. We are not the murderer in this case. We are not the perpetrator, the suspect. Well, I guess we were a suspect. We're not the perpetrator. Anyway. Continue. We've learned what we can from that. Which means now my player has been moved to the billiard room because we were accused in that room. Orchid's going to the library. And they asked about Peacock, so we have to give them that information. And we continue. It would be nice if somebody else asked about something that we just have suggestions on, because if it goes past them, it'll confirm that they don't have it, which just further confirms what I've already put down. Okay. 2. So we can't go to another room. We can stay here, though, because we were moved here by an accusation. May as well stay here because it was a low roll and make an accusation, even though we already know it's not the billiard room. And Peacock has that card, so it'll stop on Peacock showing us that card. So all we can do here is try to figure out if Green has one of these other things. And if they don't have any of them, it'll go to Peacock. And they'll show us the billiard room, because we know she has that card. So what do we want to... Let's see Green. Let's see if Green has Green. Let's confirm this. And we know he doesn't have the rope. But let's see if he has... I don't know. Or we can use something that we already have. Yeah, let's go Green and rope. Let's just confirm that. Okay, so he does not have his own card. Which means either Orchid has Green or it's Green. Because nobody else has them. And we already knew Peacock had the billiard room. But now that's confirmed. Instead of just assumed or presumed, whatever. Still not sure about the room. I have a feeling it's the ballroom. But that's just a feeling. Oh, we know all of Plum's now. Alright, so we know Peacock has the conservatory, so she probably just showed that. Yeah, because she doesn't have the others. But look, we also know all of Plum's up at the top. They're all filled in, I just noticed. So, Plum. Oh, and they're all suggested. None of them are confirmed yet, but let's go ahead and mark all the rest of them off. I feel like I haven't had a game in a while where so many of them were just suggested or like presumed, but here we go. Let's see. Library. Plum has something here. Plum does not have Plum. Does not have the revolver. Has the library. Okay, well, that's our presumption, but allegedly. No new information. Plum suggests us. Orchid has something. Well, Orchid has us. Yeah. Okay. Let's go. We have to say Plum here. Continue. Orchid keeps ending up in the hallways. Let's hope we get a higher roll so we can go somewhere. We were accused again in the billiard room, so I think we would be... Nope, okay, so we're not allowed to stay again, even though we were accused again. Let's go to the ballroom. Let's figure this out. Does Green have the ballroom? So let's ask about something that we already know it's not, because I really want to narrow down. Green has ballroom. Okay, which means it's the lounge. That's the last thing we don't have anything on. And we gotta find out if Orchid has Green, because if not, it's Green, and we don't have to get all the specifics about anything else. We're not so close to figuring out a weapon, though. Four. They're taking the secret passage to the lounge. And they're taking us to the lounge. Mustard does not have us, does not have the rope. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong one. I was like, wait a second, they don't have the lounge. Does not have us, does have the rope. Does not have the lounge, because I don't think anybody... Yeah, nobody has it, because the last one left. So nobody has that. So they just showed the rope, ostensibly. Peacock. Is my mic really loud? Did it get louder? Am I just closer to it? Sorry if I've been really loud without noticing it. Is that a little better? I don't know. I can't tell. Well, I'll turn it down in post if it seems really obnoxiously loud. Okay, we have to show Peacock here because we have that card. Somebody else could also figure it out first and make the accusation first and win the game. I have won quite a lot of games against the computers, but sometimes you don't. You win some, you lose some. I've only played online a few times, and I have lost all of those. But I prefer to play offline just because then I can get distracted and take my time, and it doesn't matter like how long I'm taking not pressing the continue button because no actual people are waiting on me on the other side. Just you all in this case. Okay, so Plum suggested this, and Orchid has something here. Well, we know, or we presume, that Orchid has us, not the revolver, not the conservatory, so no new information here. We still need to figure out another one of Green's cards, another one of Mustard's, and 2 of Orchid's. Okay, so now the AI is all going through and figuring out the same information. Multiple people have been shown the Scarlet card now. Orchid is going to the kitchen. Wow. Getting stuck in the hallway so many times and now finally get to go, like, across the building. It's the first time anybody has suggested mustard. So we're getting a few things confirmed here. Plum has the kitchen. So that's probably what just happened. Now we know Green does not have mustard, and it's confirmed that Peacock doesn't, and we know the two of them don't have the dagger. Me! Cool. Where we want to go? Okay, so in this case, we already know, and we can't get to the place that we are pretty sure it's not. So we could go to the dining room and confirm that those two don't have it. Yeah, I'm going to say out of these four, we should go to the dining room or the kitchen, because those are the furthest down the list that we could be shown. We could confirm, or, well, we could figure out if Green and Peacock have something else before Plum would show us the room card for either of these. So let's just go to the dining room. Doesn't really matter a strategy for, like, going to the corner rooms, because we also don't need to go to the study. So let's say mustard, because we already know, well, let's say orchid, on the off chance that Green has orchid. We want to figure out that and lead pipe or revolver. Let's go lead pipe. All right, Green has something. We're learning something. All right, that's Green's third card. So now we know Green does not have orchid, does not have that, and we already knew that. Okay. So now we know it's not the lead pipe, and we know the other cards that he does not have. Plum has the dining room. Oh! Nobody has the revolver. So it's the revolver. But who is it? Is it Green? I could make an accusation on my next turn, but also somebody else might figure it out before that. Am I confident enough to make an accusation, though? Orchid could have that card. We don't know enough about Orchid's cards. I'm very hesitant to make accusations too early in this game. It's probably why I lose. But I don't. I don't do it. We already know what all of Peacock's cards are, so I wasn't too worried about that. We already know what all Plum's cards are. But who's going to provide the information here? Oh yeah, did I miss something? Was there something I should have marked off? I don't know. I kind of clicked quickly. Alright. None of us had any of those. Green has something here. Not orchid. Okay, so that just marked off that mustard and orchid do not have the orchid card. So it's orchid. But we can't make an accusation yet until our turn. So probably not going to win. But yeah, so Green has the lead pipe. We know that. Yeah. All right, well, now we know what it is, but somebody else might get it. Not yet, but we'll see. Is that the last information Mustard needed? Nope. It's going on to Orchid. And Orchid has missed a couple turns but with low rolls, not being able to get to a room. So Orchid probably does not have all the information yet. But maybe with the deduction. Let's see. There's an achievement for making a suggestion that is exactly right. There's also an achievement for winning without making a suggestion. Yeah, I forget what all the specifics are. But I have some of those. Hey, it's our turn again, so we actually have a chance to win this game. 3, but we're going to the lounge. It's the only place we can go, but that's fine. We can still make an accusation that will confirm a couple of these things. Let's just say dagger, and then the lounge, it'll confirm. Look at that. Confirmed X's. Wait, mustard has something? Yeah, dagger. Okay. Yeah, okay, that's fine. That's fine. I was like, wait a second, did we just completely mess that up? No, we knew that. So now we know his 3 cards, which means Orchid's other cards must be mustard and green. But we don't need to know that. We just need to make a final accusation. Orchid, and then it circles them for you when you've clicked on it to circle it in your thing. Orchid with the revolver in the lounge. J'accuse. And then we have to click them. And if we made an accusation and got it wrong, we lose and everybody else would keep playing. We solved the crime. How fun that I won the round that I decided to record. Yay, look at the little celebratory. Yeah! All right. Here's our final report. Difficulty was medium. Okay, not even super high difficulty. Took 8 turns, 39 minutes. I've played 49 games of this. All right, so we played a round of Clue, which took a while. Now I still have to edit this. But I will say that was a very fun round. I don't want to spoil it if you didn't watch it, but that was fun. Played a game in the games themed video that's not on my channel that is for games. I have done one other like Sims 4 related video on this channel back in, I think it's 2019 when the Realm of Magic game pack came out. I did a video about it. So you can find that in the past on this channel. But otherwise, I'll see you over there. And we talk about games a lot in the Discord that is connected to my Patreon. So if you support my videos on Patreon, or I'm going to set it up on Ko-fi as well to have an option there. Both of those can bring people into the Discord. Ko-fi's not set up for that yet, though. So if you're waiting for that, go ahead and hold off a little bit. I haven't done it yet. But if you support through the Patreon, you can go there, and we talk about games a lot in there, too. And movies and musicals and a bunch of other fun stuff. I need to edit this and then get myself to bed, so thank you very much for watching and or listening to this video. I will see you tomorrow, and until then, don't forget to be awesome, blessed be, and goodbye for now. Of course, I hope that you'll share in comments in all of these videos, but this is the one with the most obvious comment question. Let me know in the comments what types of games you like to play or what some of your favorite games are. PC games, console games, board games, card games, whatever.